Hi everyone, and you're welcome to this year's Leave Cert Biology predictions video for 2026. So before we get into the predictions, just an overview of the layout of the exam. So we have three sections. We've got section A, which is our short answer questions, section B, which is your experiments, and then section C, which is your long answer questions. The short answer questions are worth 25% or 100 marks of your final exam. There are 7 questions in this section, and you're only required to answer 5. In the experiment section, 15% of your exam. There are 3 questions, you're required to answer any 2, each of them being 30 marks. And then in section C, there are 7 questions here, you're only required to answer 4, and each question carries 60 marks. The final 2 questions, questions 16 and 17, they have 4 parts, so there's internal choice there. So if you choose to answer question 16 or 17, or both as part of your required 4 questions, you only have to answer 2 of the parts within those. But if you choose to answer any of the questions 11 to 15, well then you have to answer all of those. In total, full paper, 400 marks. Now just have a look at the course structure which you would have been studying over the past 2 years. We've got Unit 1, which is the scientific method, food and ecology. Move on to Unit 2, you can see there's some topics in there such as enzymes, photosynthesis, respiration and genetics. And then Unit 3 mostly focused there on plants and animals, all of the systems you'll be familiar with in there. Now, I'm not too worried about the content inside each of the units for now. I'm more so worried about the length of each of the units. So at a visual glance there, you can see that Unit 1 is far shorter than Unit 2 and Unit 3. Unit 1 is just 3 topics. We've got our scientific method, which you would have done probably right at the start of 5th year. You've got food, probably did that at the start of 5th year as well. And then you've got your ecology. Now, ecology is a big topic, but I suppose overall, Unit 1 just being 3 topics, very, very important for us when we move over to the exam layout. Now, how does that course structure map over to the exam layout? Well, within the short questions, we know that there's going to be 7 of those. 2 of those short questions have to come from Unit 1, 2 of them have to come from Unit 2, and 2 of them have to come from Unit 3. The 7th short question can come from any of the units, but usually it's going to be Unit 2 or Unit 3. Experiment questions we'll get to in a couple of minutes, but the long answer questions, 1 of them has to come from Unit 1, it's usually ecology, 2 of them have to come from Unit 2, and 3 of them have to come from Unit 3. And then there's obviously room for a 7th one there, which can incorporate all or any of the regions. Now, the importance of the table above is that Unit 1 comprises just 3 topics, food, scientific method, and ecology. It's the shortest of the 3, but accounts for 25% of the exam. You're getting 40 marks in section A and 60 marks in section C, just for those 3 topics, 100 marks out of 400. Given the fact that 2 short questions and 1 long question will be asked about this, I would highly recommend knowing these in detail. So even if you learned nothing else other than food, scientific method and ecology, knew them inside out and upside down and got full marks on just those 3 topics, you will already have got 25% of the exam without even looking at Unit 2 and Unit 3. If you combine that with the experiments, which are 15% of your final grade, and we now can have a strategy going into that part of the exam as well, that will get you to 40%, knowing just 3 topics in Unit 1 and the experiments. Now, a couple of tips for section A, the short answer questions. Spend around 30 minutes here. Answer all of the questions if you can, okay? Don't just answer 5, good exam technique, answer all 7 of them. You will be rewarded for your best ones. Know your definitions, get straight to the point. At the start of the exam, read through all the questions, put a question mark or an X beside the questions you're unsure of, and come back to these at the end of the exam. If in doubt, guess. Don't leave any blanks. If you leave something blank, you're guaranteeing yourself 0 marks. If you put something down, you might just have the keyword that they're looking for. There's a chance you could get some marks. And then here, practice, practice, practice. Questions can be very, very repetitive, so start to see the pattern, start to see which topics come up more often than others, and get to know those inside out and upside down. Now, section B, the experiments. There's 3 questions here. You only have to answer 2 of them, and they're worth 15% of your final grade. You will have time, or should have time, to answer all of them. So if you can, do so, and your best questions will be awarded. But as I said, you can have a strategy going into the experiment section now over the last couple of years since the COVID pandemic and changes were made to the exam, and I will get to that in a couple of minutes. I would recommend knowing them all in detail so that you can answer all of the questions, all 3 questions on the day of the exam. But if you are struggling with content and time is maybe getting to you and the amount of content is getting to you, the new changes will help you with that. The scientific method, preparing slides, the isolation of DNA, the germination experiments and the enzyme experiments seem to be the ones that come up more often than others, so definitely know those ones. Now, what way is the experiments laid out for the last time for the 2026 exam? Because we'll have a new exam coming into play in 2027. So within question 8, the only experiments that they can ask you are the food tests, your ecology habitat study, the preparation and examination of animal and plant cells, and the isolation of DNA from plant tissue. In question 9, the only experiments that they can ask you is prepare and show the production of alcohol by yeast, investigate the influence of light intensity or carbon dioxide on the rate of photosynthesis, the enzyme immobilization, the effect of pH temperature, heat denaturation, and the osmosis experiment, which came up in 2025. And then question 10, the only experiments they can ask here is investigate the growth of leaf yeast using agar plates, the transverse section of a dicot stem, heart dissection, effective exercise and breathing or pulse rate, the IAA experiment, the digestive activity during germination, and the conditions required for germination. Now, they can't deviate outside of that, okay? The experiments listed there under question 8, under question 9, and under question 10, they're the only ones that can come up in that question. So if you were struggling with content, you could go into the exam and decide, do you know what, I'm just going to know all of the experiments in question 8 and all of the experiments in question 9. I'm going to make sure I know them really, really well, and then I can leave out the experiment questions in question 10 and reduce the amount of content that I need to know, okay? Other people might prefer the experiments in question 8 and question 10 and leave out the ones in question 9. It's completely up to you. You don't have to adopt a strategy going in. You can know all of them if you want, but you do only have to answer 2 questions. So play to your strengths here. For section C, the long questions, between 100 to 120 minutes, so possibility of up to 2 hours in this section. Read through each question to help you decide which ones to answer. You only have to answer 4 questions. You probably will have time to answer more, so do so. Your best ones will be awarded. Make sure you're including enough points for full marks, so everything is marked in 3s. It won't obviously say how much each individual part of a question is worth, but we know that for questions 11 to 15, part A is always 9 marks, part B is 27 marks, and part C is 24 marks. And then for questions 16 and 17, they're out of 30 each. Each part is 30. You'll probably be able to give a fairly solid guess as to how much each individual part of a question is going to be, usually marked in 3s. Sometimes there's deviations from that, so just make sure that you're given enough detail. The question word can help you with this as well. So if it asks you to state or list or name something, you're probably just looking for a short answer there. But if it asks you to explain something, well, then you're going to need a couple of points in your answer. Genetics, photosynthesis, respiration, ecology, very common topics, so make sure and know those. And with all parts of the exam, practice, practice, practice. Exam papers and marking schemes should be your best friend in the lead up to the exam. And make sure that you're using the marking schemes to focus in on the keywords, okay? There's no attempt marks in biology, okay? It's not like maths where you might get some attempt marks for getting part of the way or kind of getting an answer. As I say to my students, for biology, you're either 100% right or you're 100% wrong. There's no partially correct answers. Now, some general tips for the exam. Relax, all the questions will be based on something you've covered in class. You're not going to be asked something that you have never seen before. It's just going to be phrased slightly differently, and that's why getting as much exposure to exam papers over the next couple of weeks, whether it's past exam papers, deferred exam papers, or mock papers, the more you do, the better it is for you. Read the question carefully. Is the question asking you to state or list something or explain something? The difference in the question word will dictate how much you're expected to write. Use a diagram if you can. That can help with explanations and answers. In terms of timing, if you get stuck, just move on. The time that you're spending agonizing over one question that you can't do is taking time away from answering questions you might know further on. Move on and come back. If in doubt, guess. As I said before, a blank answer guarantees 0 marks. Putting something down could get you some marks. And exam papers should be your main focus right now. Practice them over and over again and use the marking schemes to grade them. Now, just before we get to the predictions, I just want to draw your attention to the complete revision package, which is available for your study over the next couple of weeks on the ExamRevision platform, examrevision.ie. So what do we have? Well, in summary, it's just hundreds of bite-sized video tutorials that makes learning easier for students. Now, what do you get if you were to sign up to the complete revision package? You will get bite-sized video tutorial grinds for each subject that you sign up for. You will get PowerPoint presentations. You will get H1 standard notes, all the past exam paper questions, all the past marking schemes. There'll be self-correcting quizzes for you to do, worked exam paper solutions, and then a smart adaptive technology to guide students' learning. So as you're completing a quiz or doing some questions, if it senses that you're maybe a little bit weaker at a particular topic, it will guide you to the videos and resources that you might need to improve. Now, what subjects do we have on offer? Well, we currently have 37 subjects. Now the 27 premium subjects, accounting, ag science, biology and so on, every single one of those subjects has videos, quizzes, notes, PowerPoint presentations, exam papers, our exam builder and our marking schemes. Everything you need is there. For the 10 base subjects at the bottom of the screen there, like art, applied maths and classical studies, we have the exam papers, quizzes, exam builder and marking schemes. The videos and the presentations just aren't there just yet, but they are in development. But you still will be able to access all of the past exam papers in the meantime anyway. And there's just a couple of reviews from students that we've had over the past couple of years. So I'm not going to read through them. You can read through it yourself if you just want to pause the video. But you can see there that everybody finding it very, very useful in improving their grades in the lead up to the exam. And if you were to sign up on our website on the back of this prediction video, there is a 40% discount available. So just go to examrevision.ie and details will be found there. Now, the reason everybody is here is for the predictions for the exam for 2026. Now, with all predictions, there is no way of knowing exactly what is going to be on the paper. The only people who know that are the very few examiners who have made the paper. But I suppose based on past trends and what hasn't maybe been there in a couple of years, these are the things that I would find more likely to appear in the exam in 2026. So within section A, always question 1, we have a food question. So the structure of the biomolecules, your lipids, your proteins, your carbohydrates, know the differences between them and their structural and metabolic roles. That's in section 1.3 on exam revision. Last year we had a scientific method question. I'm feeling there could be an ecology question there this year. So we're definitions of ecology and nutrient recycling. So know your carbon cycle and your nitrogen cycle I would be feeling here as one of the short questions. Enzymes, very common question across the board in all sections, but enzymes hasn't actually appeared as a section A, a short answer question, in a number of years. So I would definitely know our induced fit theory there, our lock and key theory, active site, all of that. Make sure I know that in advance of the exam. We had a photosynthesis short question last year, so could be a respiration short question there this year. And then evolution, it's been a while, it does appear normally as the part C in one of the long answer questions, usually associated with genetics. Wouldn't be surprised if we've seen something there on evolution for 2026. Responses, human and plant. We had a long answer question there last year on nervous system and neurotransmitters. If we had something this year on reflex action, reflex arcs, or the eye and the ear, make sure and have a look over that. And then viruses, it's been a couple of years since we had a question there on that as well. Section B, the experiment question. Question 8 for 2026, I'm feeling that it could be a mix of questions from a few experiments. We got a full question on the isolation of DNA in 2024. The habitat study was 2025. They could ask a full long question on the animal and plant cell experiment, so do know that one inside out and upside down. But what I would be feeling a little bit more is that they could do a pick and mix style question where they ask a little bit about each of the experiments that can come up in question 8. So know the steps, the results and the controls for each of the experiments, just in case it is a pick and mix style question here. For question 9, the effect of pH and temperature on enzyme activity. The effect of pH on enzyme activity has not come up since the 2022 deferred paper. Okay, it's been a number of years since it appeared on the main paper. And then question 10, I would definitely be knowing the germination experiments here. There's 2 of those, knowing the conditions required for germination and the digestive activity during germination as well. Now the longer one, the predictions for section C. Within unit 1, the predictions I would have there is we'll probably have our ecology question as always. So know your definitions, food chains, food webs, energy transfer, your pyramid of numbers, and human impact on the environment, bringing in there about pollution. I put in the carbon and nitrogen cycle there just to know it, because I do feel like that could come up as part of a section A, a short answer question, just to emphasize its importance there. Photosynthesis, respiration, always there. Okay, know the stages, know the products, know the chemical equations, differences between anaerobic and aerobic respiration. Enzymes, as I said again, I do feel like it could be a section A question this year, and possibly then the effect of pH coming up in the experiment question. But it is a very, very common long question, so I just put that in there as well, just to emphasize the importance of knowing it. And then genetics, DNA profiling, genetic engineering, DNA replication, but more so your monohybrid and your dihybrid crosses. Make sure and know those inside out and upside down, throwing in a little bit of incomplete dominance in there as well. Now within section C, plant reproduction, always there usually. Human reproduction, it's been a number of years since there's been an emphasis on the female reproductive system. There's a big focus in the 2025 exam on the male reproductive system, so a switch over to the female reproductive system, knowing the structures, knowing the functions, knowing the menstrual cycle, knowing the hormones associated with that, okay? Make sure you have a look over that before the exam. Transport in plants, the cohesion tension model, okay? Detailed structure of xylem and phloem. Now, last year, there was a long question there on the nervous system, but it was mostly associated with neurotransmitters, okay? Know the structure and function of the nervous system, the central nervous system, the peripheral nervous system, the overall structure of a neuron, but definitely have a look at diseases associated with those as well. Your circulatory system, knowing blood flow through the heart, the regulation of heartbeat, your SA node and your AV node. Where are your blood cells produced? Where are they broken down? What's the functions of the cells? In particular, I'd have a look at the functions of the white blood cells because they could bring in the human defense system as part of that as well. And then protista normally comes up as usually part of question 16 or 17, one of those 4 parts there, one of the 30-mark questions. So definitely be able to label the amoeba, the functions of the pseudopods, and the importance of the contractile vacuole in expelling excess water. So overall, that would just be my predictions for the 3 sections. Again, there's no way of knowing exactly what's going to come up in the exam. Do keep an eye on, I suppose, the strategy going into the exam, especially around the idea of Unit 1 being 25% of your final grade. Just those 3 topics: food, scientific method, and ecology. But overall, the very best to look at your study over the next couple of weeks. Check out the ExamRevision platform for any revision aids that you might need, and hopefully the exam goes very well for everybody in June.